Gaurav, you are up. Gaurav is a very, very community-oriented cybersecurity professional. He speaks at a lot of different places. He gives back to the community. He's big with the chapter in Virginia. Gaurav, which one are you part of, Nova or the NCR one?
I'm the NCR chapter.
The NCR chapter. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Soon he'll be a
I want to
member of
join.
our
I want to
chapter as
join this
well.
chapter. Yeah.
Look at that. All right. So, Gaurav, I'm going to let you take the floor. And thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat and I'll take a look.
Okay. And again, this is my first meeting here, and I was maybe I would say nervous as well. I think with knowing how many registrations we had, I think Ken let me know like 200, and I see 106 already. So I will not take much time. Maybe Ken, I know we are saying we have two speakers here. I don't want to like bore as well because everybody expert here, but I'll try to share my side of the story, why I'm here, and I guess why the topic I have is important, as we all know. But maybe I will try to tell a story in a better way if I can. And I'm going to join that public speaking course as well. So I'm your newest maybe chapter member, Ken. So please sign me up.
Fantastic.
I'm sold already. So thank you. I guess thank you for what you do. I think you're all over. I think this chapter and you are, I think, are amazing. Even though I'm part of the NCR chapter, but I think and I'm a Marylander as well. So I'm from Maryland. So which is like I saw Kim is in Marylander, right? So maybe I can join as well. So yeah, I guess my topic for today is secure your financial and supply chain enterprise applications. And I'll try to tell some story. I was kind of thinking like whether I have to kind of change my slides, but I will try my best. And as Ken was saying, this is me. I don't want to go deep into it. I work for Under Armour here in Baltimore as our headquarters, and we call Protect Our House. Almost 9 years with Under Armour. And before that, I have like been with other consulting from like IBM and other consulting from India and I think US as well. The slide's working fine, right? Or am I kind of messing it up? Let me see. Okay, this one is better. Is it better now? Or
yes, that's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So I guess I added both financial and supply chain. I know we hear supply chain a lot today with SolarWinds and everything. But I thought I will start with the financial applications, especially on the enterprise side. So I thought I would start with some, again, I was still in college in that when it happened, but 2001 and 2, I believe, Enron, a big energy firm here, I think they did all the financial accounting fraud. They kind of bumped up their kind of profits and whatnot, hiding their debt and everything there. And it ended up becoming like they have to file bankruptcy when it came out. So yeah, I guess big loss to the public, to the company itself, and I think everybody. I'm not going to read about it, but yeah, I think 2000, 2001, and they have to actually file for bankruptcy, and when the whole financial fraud came out in the public. Another story, similar story, WordCom. Let me just minimize this. Okay, so telecom company, similar accounting fraud. I think similar timeline, I believe 2002. They again, the CEO, CISO and whatnot, not CISO, I would say CEO and the other one, executives, they kind of showed all the debt and everything, and they as a profit, and then pushed their accountings and everything. And again, it came out as a big scandal, one of the biggest scandal at the time. And eventually they have to file for bankruptcy, and it says it's largest bankruptcies in US history, I believe, or maybe even till today as well. Okay. So I guess all these scandals happening, especially with Enron, I think this SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley Act came in, passed by US Congress in 2002, which kind of have guardrails. This is a compliance for any company who have a public company in the United States who does a business here. They have to make sure their financial accounting and other things are following the SOX guidelines, and also certification and everything. So that was like the big change, and I also feel like this is the one which started the whole GRC and other, if not at least expanded the GRC arena as well in the cyber field. They have sections 302, 404. Again, I'm not going to read, and I have everybody expert here, so I was not sure the audience. I tried to add whatever I can here. But again, SOX is kind of a put responsibility on the management to make sure they certify the accuracy of the financial statements and make sure they are proper internal controls are in place to ensure there is nothing like no fraud like happening as Enron and the other one. 404 as well, internal control report, and they have to certify. Again, it's all about process, controls, RACM and whatnot. If you're a GRC guy here, I think you would know more about it anyway. I'm sure I'm not rushing, but I'm just trying to make it like a quick and not too bore. Again, SOX compliance relies heavily on logical access control, change management, segregation of duties to make sure that you can't create a vendor and then do a payment. So the whole kind of avoiding the whole fraud which can happen. Audit is a big piece as well. Make sure you're auditing, you have all the auditing enabled, and then you're also doing your certifications every quarter to certify, and then again you go to your straight for your financial reporting as a public company in the United States. Data security and other regular audits are key as well. Again, GRC guys and other guys I think are well aware. This is a big thing. Like right now, like we as a company is also doing the same thing right now. So every quarter, you have to, I think you have all the RACMs, controls, and whatever GRC tool you use based on whatever landscape you have. You kind of go and certify those controls. Like whatever controls we have, those are being done, and there is no significant deficiencies or any issues around that. And the management has to sign off on that before you kind of declare your financial results to the street. Okay, so I get it. This is I thought like I'll try to make it some I guess funny ways. So this is all old news, right? I think 2001, 2002. And then other thing I had was supply chain, right? Which is like the favorite topic right now. And I tried to, again, I did this CCON thing, I think what Akin was saying. So I had this session on CCON. I kind of stole a few slides from there. Again, trying to tell a story there. I don't know if you have heard about Dabbawala story. I think this is from India. Maybe the most manual but efficient supply chain process. They kind of so what they do, so it's like all the office goers like us, even though we are remote now, but in Mumbai, which is like the biggest city in India or most populated as well, all these dabbawalas like a tiffin, like lunch boxes, kind of a delivery service. So they will come to your home to take the lunch, and then they will deliver the lunch or lunch box to the actual person who is in office somewhere in Mumbai city. They don't use any kind of app. It's all kind of a manual tracking, some kind of a coding they do in every lunch boxes. And I think they talk about, I think they have been like pretty detailed media and whatnot. They talked about like only like missing one, like not reaching the destination they're supposed to reach. It's like the error is like 1 in 5 million or something. So again, I have not verified that, but that seemed like the best and efficient supply chain process which anybody can have. So and then this is like good story traditional supply chain where you have like an inventory, you have your order to cash, your like sales order, purchase order, and whatnot going on. Like you have vendor, you are ordering some raw material or the product. So that's like the supply chain which any company like a Apple or anybody would be doing. Then there's a digital supply chain as we saw. You kind of use software delivered by a vendor, which is like we saw the error with or the issues with the SolarWind story, which we all know. So I'm not going to go deep into supply chain. I know this is a big topic. We know why this is critical. As per Forbes, 80% of incidents in cyber happens due to compromised supplies, which is critical part of our supply chain. And again, COVID-19 supply chain, we all have been there. I think we all know what happened. So again, I'm not gonna go there. But if I have to take a like compare what the Bavala, and then I guess how do like what we can take it from that to kind of put into our cyber kind of a word is like make it simple. And I'm a big fan of NIST cybersecurity framework. So you should identify your critical supply chain processes in your business, and then keep them simple. And I think, and then systems applications which supports those processes are critical as well. So the identify function in NIST is anywhere that's where I will start, and then again follow the other security functions there. Again, teamwork here, and I think this side as well. Again, my experience, I've seen like this whole supply chain security. I'm talking about from enterprise perspective, and the cyber team. There are some silos there, so we should try to break the silos if we can. And the third would be having continuous control monitoring, right? Making sure the controls you have around supply chain or any other business processes are being done and monitored. Yeah, so I'm gonna skip this slide. Okay, so this was I think the main, I would say the meat, which I was kind of confused whether I should put in the very beginning or the very end. So now we understand security of financial and supply chain is critical, is paramount, and I think anybody would have a doubt why we should be doing everything we should be doing to protect it. So let me again ask a question or maybe a food of thought here. Putting some logos here, all kind of a Fortune 500, whatever, top, even Fortune 100, I would say, companies. Furthermore here, any answer and any guess, I would appreciate it. So I have all these companies logo here. Any guess or anything common? I'm trying to like get you to like some common thing, like if there's a commonality in here. I see a America's Navy here, I see Dow Jones, I see Sony, Nvidia, Siemens. They're all from different industries. I see Levi's, which is retail. Then I see all this Shell, BP, Trader Joe's, which is like favorite grocery store for me. I see PepsiCo. Almost I would say every company, if we can, like we go or use every day. Or I think if we try to put, I think they all will be coming here. Like Apple is there as well, Coke is there. Any guesses, anybody, or I can go to my answer here. Okay, so, and I'm from, I think, I don't know how many of us here have heard about SAP or ERP. So SAP is a German-based leading ERP provider in the world, and ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, which is like your financial systems, your supply chain systems, your human resources, your sometimes your sales and your CRM as well. I know CRM Salesforce is leading, I think, than SAP. But if you talk about the core financial and supply chain, SAP is the market leader, and all the companies logo we saw, they all are using SAP at least to support their financial business processes, if not more. So yeah, the community in all these companies was from America's Navy to Sony to Nvidia, which is I think it's now like everybody's favorite, and then yeah, I guess almost every company. So the reason maybe I'm here, maybe the reason I think why Ken asked me to and speak here is like I come from SAP kind of a background, but I'm the cybersecurity protecting that whole SAP and ERP ecosystem, and the reason I would say I think we're trying to like change, because in the cyber world, not many know about, maybe they have heard about SAP and ERP, but not many kind of know. It's still a black box for them, even though SAP is kind of ubiquitous across. You just name a company, is there. It's their core critical enterprise systems. It's where the crown jewels exist, and it's a black box for the infosec team or the cyber team or the team which reports to CISO, because it kind of sits within a financial department under CFO. and it's not like open source. It's say German-based companies, they use a lot of proprietary kind of languages and all, even though they're trying to be more cloud now. And in legacy, where it was more like an on-prem system, so people thought it's all secure, nobody can go in as long as we have network perimeter all secured in, and we have all the firewalls, it's good. But even that landscape is changing with cloud adoptions and everything else too. So securing that is really critical now. And I think the more when more folks like us here, cyber knows about it, I think if you work for any company or your kind of customer, it's pretty kind of good. The more cyber folks know about SAP and then why it's critical, or even as ERP in a general as well, because this is where Apple financials, everything is happening. This is where I don't want to name my company, but yeah, all the company we saw there, I think every company's financials and SOX compliance and the financial reporting and everything is happening there. This is pretty critical. I don't think I need to emphasize that, but yeah, this is a critical enterprise system. And as I was saying, this is called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, where your procurement, your sourcing, your vendor management is happening. You create vendors, you're creating purchase orders, your invoices are coming back, your account payable, account receivable, those things are happening. So it's not like I would say the customer facing world, it's more about me as a company. If I'm serving or I'm doing a business, right? All my business processes, all my accounting is happening in that ERP or SAP system. So yeah, I think probably I hope I have made some clarity on that if there are folks who are not aware of ERP and our SAP system. So let's talk about why our, I guess this is paramount again. So think about a retail company or even like so you go to their e-com website, which can be Salesforce, or it can be even SAP as well. So you order something, then it goes to your inventory management system or your warehouse management system. It checks for inventory, the order is created, and then it's kind of okay. You got the order, then you ship it from your warehouse, and then you charge to the card. There's a whole financial thing happening, which is PCI DSS and whatnot. So it's kind of it's so complexly connected to entire business processes you have as a company, no matter what business or what industry you are. So you would be compliant to SOX, which is if you're a public company in the US, PCI DSS, because the payments are being happening there. And then in general, like the data security, the GDPR and other things, because it's your HR system as well. Sometimes they have their own HR SAP. So your PI data, your employee security and everything and whatnot. So, but financial, I would say, is our topic today. So financial data protection is key, and then the SOX compliance is key as well there. Supply chain vulnerability, as I was saying, it's not just the supply chain vulnerability on the IT side or the code side. It's also on the actual supply chain, right? I have a system which is my vendors are accessing it, and then how do we make sure, because those are public facing systems, and the vendors are not your employees, so they don't use your identity system or your enterprise identity system. Maybe you have a separate whatever. So I guess it's still like doing the same thing, but you need to think about, okay, these are the critical systems from a business. And in your and any loss, any kind of hack there would become a major loss, major business loss to you, to your business, even to your customers, and your brand value as well. And I'm trying to be quick. I don't know, Ken, whether I'm good on the time or not, but
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. So, and again, if I say on a broader level, it's still a application, right? And it's kind of have the same threat, same attack kind of vectors and all, but it's just like because, and again, it has been so on-prem before, but it has changed now with the cloud. So it's kind of becoming now a new target of all the bad actors, because this is, if they get into SAP, this is where your everything is, right? This is where they can do fraud. They can create a vendor and our fictitious, or they could change. If I get into SAP, I think this is where all the critical things are there, right? So I can do anything which we may not even notice, because you kind of protecting the network level, But if there's insider threat, who gets into SAP and they do something, unless you have all the like guardrails created, and we do a lot of good thing on SAP side. I would say the GRC is pretty big on the SAP side. We have kind of process control, and we monitor all the processes. We have SOD, kind of a real-time monitoring. So there are things which are there, but I feel like it's still, that's all sit within the SAP and the CFO org. The cyber team, they're still kind of maybe just limiting themselves on the network layer or the identity level as well. They don't go beyond that. So I guess key takeaways, collaborate with business. I think the more and more collaboration we have, I think cyber, as we all know, is no one team can do it all alone. So you need to. Yeah, so thought somebody was okay. So collaboration is key with business, finance, and supply chain teams, even though they are part of maybe within CFO's org, not part of the security team. Actually, SAP has its own security team, which generally just doesn't sit within CISO's org. They kind of reporting into the GRC or the CFO's financial department. So they still create that whole kind of synergy there. Create your, we call it a squad here. Create a team, collaborate there. At least the more you collaborate, at least you're gonna know. And I guess, as I said, the CISOs sometimes they don't own the security of ERP SAP because it's in the CFO org. But yeah, it still create like a collaboration there, because this is where your crown jewels or your data are. And also thinking like the GRC. And the one thing which I always speak in my SAP specific kind of conferences, like, because we are so good on GRC, we have our own kind of a GRC tool, which SAP has, is so mature. We kind of get like false sense of security because we are so audit heavy, especially on the logical access control and the change management. We think that is enough. But as we all know, security, you need to have layered security and on the onion, whatever I think we call, right? So, and making sure if cyber is not aware of what I do on SAP and I'm saying my system is secure, it shows there's a problem. And the last, I would say, basics don't change. Identity is the new perimeter, as we say in the cloud world. Same is true for SAP as well. SOD, least privilege, and so it's still the basics we have to do as a cyber, which I think we all can do. Everybody who are here, I think they're doing that in whatever work they're doing it. But I would say let's ask those questions. If you have ERP or any enterprise application in your org, reach out to them, understand what business processes they're supporting, and what kind of processes or the policies or standards or controls we have today to make sure they are secure. I think that's it I had, and I gave few resources here just to know more about SAP in general. And they are, I would say, doing pretty good job around security, but it's just like if I'm a SAP guy, then only I would be able to understand, because it's so closed. It's not like something you can just simply go and learn as kind of SAP's own proprietary tools. But they're kind of moving more towards the cloud, which is kind of also helping to make it more, I would say, more generic, so that every cyber person can understand it, and I think and make sure that it's protected. And then also gave like few GRC links as well. And there's some solutions offered around cybersecurity, which I would say is taking traction now. We are moving more towards cybersecurity for SAP than just focusing heavily on GRC. So I think that was it for me. I know I skipped my intro. I'm writing a book around a similar topic, cybersecurity for SAP, which I'm pretty excited. I'm learning a lot as well. And as Ken was saying, I love giving back. So I would love to be connected with this dream team here. I saw all the LinkedIn, all the IC2, I guess, the Congress one. I was like, oh, I should have been there. So thank you, Ken, for having me here. And I hope I made sense. I was not sure with the audience and on everybody expert here. I only talk in the more SAP kind of word where people understand SAP. But I thought the more and more we talk about this, it's gonna be good for all of us, because it's just so ubiquitous across. And you just name a company, you just ask, I think they would have SAP in one form or other, which is supporting the financials and supply chain systems. So that's it from my side, Ken.
Thank you,
questions I
Gaurav.
can